Hi everybody, I'm Brandy from Eggy's Greenhouse here in Swan River. I'm going to be doing one of 8 videos about gardening and just some of the basics to get you started when you want to garden. So this one is just going to be basically about the soil you choose. If you don't know where to start, this might help you. There are lots of different opinions on what is good and what to use and what not to use. But for getting started, this is where you can start. So a lot of people think that you can just take dirt out of your garden and put it into a planter. That is probably one of the biggest mistakes, I think, because the dirt in your garden is a lot different. It has a lot of different things in it that will compact it in your container, which allows the roots to not get enough air and oxygen. So for example here, this is the topsoil out of my garden. As you can see, when I squeeze it, it stays in a clump. And that's what happens in the container. As you water it, it gets packed down and the roots will not have enough oxygen. So that is not a good option for a container or for starting seedlings or anything like that. So the next one, if you just want to plant your flowers out in a flower container, if you go to any store where you get your soil and look for potting soil. Now this has peat moss, coco coir, bark, vermiculite, and perlite in it. And as you can see, when you squeeze it, it doesn't compact. It's very light, very airy, and is great for containers. The next one is for seed starting. It's basically just peat moss, vermiculite, and perlite. So this one is the most airy and it's great for starting seedlings. So you can start your seedlings in this kind of soil, and once they get big enough, you can move them into a container soil. The fourth soil is cactus and succulent soil. So this is 50% sand and the rest is peat moss and perlite. It is very fast draining. The water will just drain right through so it doesn't get stuck where the roots are, which causes root rot in succulents and cactus. So this is vermiculite. This is what is added into lots of these soils. It is for water retention. It holds the moisture in the soil so you don't have to water as often. If you're going to be planting seeds, this is a great option for putting over top the soil to hold the moisture in. The next one is perlite, which I don't have a pile here, but it is these little white pieces that you always see in the soil. And that is for aeration. That makes sure there's enough air around the roots so that roots can grow healthy. And the last thing is fertilizer, which is an important thing when you're growing plants. This is a slow release fertilizer, and they're just granular. So you put it on the top of the soil and you mix it into about the first 1 or 2 inches of soil. So every time you water, a little bit of this dissolves and goes into the roots and fertilizes your plants. There's also the powder fertilizer, which it's a concentrate you can mix into your water. The instructions are on the back of the container. You can get it at any store. Just a basic fertilizer will do for your flowers. There are many other types of soils, but this is the best if you're just starting out, just to help you get going, because that's the most important part, is just to get started. Hi, I'm Brandy from Eggy's Greenhouse, and in this clip we're going to talk about seeding. It's the best way to get started. It's doesn't cost very much to buy a pack of seeds and to try and grow something in your house. Most of the seed packets have the instructions on the back. It has the seeding depth, how many seeds to put, how far apart to put them, so it tells you all you need to know on the back of the packs. Now what you can do is you want a very light soil to start with, something that doesn't compact. So what you do is you take your seeds, put them to the depth it says, push them into each cell, And if you don't have these cells, that is fine. You don't have to buy these cells. You can put them into cups. You can put them into any kind of plastic containers you have at home. Just make sure that there's drainage at the bottom so the water doesn't get stuck in the bottom. So you push the seeds into the cell, however many seeds you want. You don't have to start with lots, because in the end, if they do grow, you're going to be stuck with a lot of plants. So just start very small. You put your seeds in, pack them lightly on top, make sure the soil is covering them. Then you want to water them in, make sure there's moisture in the soil, just a light water. Then you will want to put a cover on them. Something clear. If you don't have one of these, you can use Saran Wrap. There's any kind of stuff you can use that will let the light in, but will keep the humidity in the container. And you want to put this in a warm location. The heat is what helps germinate it. It doesn't need full sun until the plants come up. So just keep this on until you see the plants coming up, poking through the soil. Then you can remove the lid and put it in the sun. Make sure to water it. Don't let it dry out. You don't want to keep it soggy, but you don't want to keep it dry. You just got to be paying attention to how the soil looks. Okay, here we have tomatoes that have been seeded, and these are about ready to be transplanted into a bigger container. When they get about 2 or 3 true leaves, you can transplant them. And tomatoes you want to plant deep. So I would just pull this out of here. You can see they have nice little roots. You're going to want to plant these deep. So you're going to have a big enough container where you can go far down. So I make a deep hole and I put it right to the bottom, right up to these leaves here. Pack it in tight. There you go. And then you just water and watch it grow. Once it grows out of this size, you'll want to bump it up again. And every time you transplant it, you want to plant it deep. So every time you do it, you got to get a bigger container and go deeper down until you plant it out in your garden. Take your time and have fun, and if it doesn't work the first time, you can try it again. It's all about trial and error and having fun. You'll be rewarded with vegetables, and it's a great activity for your kids to do with you. It's a lot of fun. It's very rewarding, and you will maybe possibly have vegetables in the end. So enjoy and just try.